All right. So I wanted to kind of go over this seminar, which is unlocking the power of your home, what to know about cash out refinancing. And so this is a short one, but want to just unpack some things that we have here that may make sense for you. And so a little bit about myself. I've been in the industry for 22 years. I joined American Pacific Mortgage 2010. By the grace of God, made the 1% of originators nationwide, top 100, a couple years in a row. And really, just thankful for the growth that we've had. We started in California, now we're in several states. And our focus, of course, is just helping people, right? Families, buyers, investors navigate home financing with clarity, strategy, and our whole goal is really steadfast to the relationship itself. So, American Pacific Mortgage has been around for, gosh, nearly 40 years. It's a top 10 retail lender, top 50 company to work for. It's one of the most loved mortgage employers. Our culture is huge to us. And our whole MO, if you will, is to create experiences that matter. So really right here, as it says, every interaction with us as individuals and companies is crafted with you in mind. My whole thought is, what can we do to consider others more worthy than ourselves? It's kind of a verse that I've always lived most of my at work and at home life is just consider others and do all we can to continue to help our clients win because when our clients win, we win essentially, right? And so if we look at, let me go real quick here. I apologize for that. Our agenda here today is going over what a cash out refinance is, how it works, 7 smart reasons to do a cash out refinance, what to expect in the process, pros and cons to consider it. Is it right for you? We'll leave with some steps thereafter. So what is a cash out refinance? Replaces your existing mortgage with a new one for often more than what you currently owe, as it's, you're pulling funds from the equity of that property to give you that difference in cash, if you will, for really using the funds for any purpose. Essentially, what you'd want to have is at least 20% equity in the property. So simple figures, if you bought the property for 500,000, you put 20% down, you have a $400,000 mortgage on it. Let's say over time, let's say 5, 10 years, as we've seen in most markets, it depreciates to, let's say, $1 million. It means you have $400,000 to essentially use for things that you want to invest in, debt consolidation, right? If you want to buy another property, it allows you to do those things. So what we do is the lender will appraise your home to determine its value. You'll receive a new loan and use any part of it to pay off your old loan, and the rest comes to you as cash or capital, or we could do consolidation right at escrow it as well. So we get a new loan term, possibly a new rate, and a new monthly payment. So there are some reasons, and here are what we call the 7 smart reasons to do a cash out refinance. The first one, of course, is home improvements or upgrades. Renovate your kitchen, bathroom. If you're looking to do energy efficient upgrades that increase your home's value and comfort, often the cash flow, if you're doing something that would be energy efficient, that's a great reason. Debt consolidation. This one is very popular as we see so many folks today with a lot of debt. Candidly, a lot of people ran into high credit card debt in the last couple of years with inflation or one reason or another. There's a statistic out there, I believe it's 60 or 65% of US citizens have uh, $30,000 or more in credit card debt. And my thought is, I'm a big Dave Ramsey guy. I'm into debt consolidation, the snowball method. I've even written a book on how to budget. However, these things can happen. And if you have a 28 or 29% rate on your credit card, as most of them tend to, getting a rate in the 6% range or even lower um, is not a bad thing. You're actually using it for a good purpose versus any debt's bad debt, right? So if you can't pay it off within a couple of months or create a budget that truly works with a snowball, this is a great way to utilize that, improving your overall cash flow. There's been several instances where we've helped clients save 1,000, 1,500, or even $2,000 or more a month by simply doing that. Third item is education or career investment. So if you're looking to fund tuition, training programs, certifications, without turning to high interest student loans, again, another thing. Emergency or unexpected expenses, medical bills, job loss, home repairs. Your equity could create a financial safety net. Big life changes, fund a wedding, support a family member, or plan a meaningful travel with flexibility. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the second part of this bullet point, just so you know. Travel, I mean, I'd rather work with you individually, creating a budget. If you wanted to do that, I'm happy to do that. No cost, no fee. But something I'm really a fan of is budgeting. So don't want to have you acquire more debt for travel. But if you were looking to maybe invest for travel or looking to plan for that, great. Let's talk about that. I like this one. The sixth one is what I personally have used equity for is buy a second property. I bought in several properties using the equity of a property that I've had in the Bay Area for 15 years and able to essentially grow my rental portfolio. And there's ways to do that. There's a whole nother presentation. I've actually written a book on this individually on developing wealth real estate. And if you like to get a copy of that, just simply shoot me a message. Happy to share that with you. Retirement planning. Of course, free up fronts, boost your retirement accounts, downsize, or improve your credit current home for aging in place. So here's this next slide. What to expect in the process. So application documentation, how we start most things is we want to get an application. It's a soft credit check. We'll then run analysis and going over with you what actually makes the most sense. At that point, once you tell us, hey, green light, let's go, we'll go ahead and order that appraisal. We'll send that loan to underwriting and loan approval. And then shortly thereafter, we're able to sign your final loan documents, and then funds would then be dispersed typically a few days after you get the total amount. So most refinances take 30 to 45 days start to finish versus our purchase transactions, which take about 12 to 14 days. The reason why, if you're buying your property, you tend to work on a timeline versus when you're refinancing, you're not working with such a timeline with the seller who has this contractual date that they need to close an escrow on. So pros and cons to consider. These are important. Pros, access to large sums of money at a relatively low interest rate. Second item is, of course, potential to improve your financial situation, especially with debt consolidation. Third item here is may increase your home's value if used for home improvements. The cons, yes, you're starting a new loan term. Yes, closing costs can apply. They're less than what most people think, by the way. And there's ways to work around that. We're happy to do so and kind of unpack what that looks like. Now, if your home value drops, you could owe more than it's worth. However, if we stick to 20% equity or more, the chances of that tend to be slimmer and slimmer. So you never really want to go above what we call 80% loan to value in that circumstance. So is it right for you? These are the questions really you should ask yourself. Do you have enough equity in your home? Are you comfortable with a new mortgage term or payment? Will using equity help you achieve long-term financial goals? And have you considered how long you plan to stay in your home? So the next steps would be schedule a free mortgage review. I do these once a year with most of my clients, usually in January or February. There's no pressure, just clarity on what's possible. So based off of your goals and your current loan, we'd love to talk you through that. Third item here is, of course, just walking through those numbers, helping estimate your cash out potential and answer all of your questions. Of course, I'm an open book. You could reach out to me anytime, call, text, or email. I'm certainly here and very happy to help. So thanks for joining me with this presentation. Here's my contact information. You can find me on social at mike.belfor, but feel free to call, text, or email anytime. I'm always here to help. And if you'd like to share this with somebody else, feel free to forward it. Have a wonderful day.